Hello!
Thank God. So we just packed up our campsite at the Caves Caravan Park, just in Yallinup. Pronunciation isn't our strong point.
We never even know where we are at the time. We just know the area,
Yeah.
southwest region.
So we packed up quite early because it's going to be a terrible day today. It's going to be apparently cyclone weather.
In WA's once-in-a-decade storm sent trees spearing into vehicles.
Gusts reach 132 kilometres an hour in Cape Lewin.
We're not convinced, but we are going to get a cabin tonight and tomorrow night just to be safe because we don't want our tent or swag flying away on us.
We'll check out the Lighthouse. So we'll get a cave tour after that at Nilgi Cave. Then after that, we're going to go past Gracetown and check out the massive waves. And then that's about 3 o'clock, and then we'll jump in the cabin and ride out the storm.
Yeah.
Bit of a fun fact about this lighthouse, it must remain spinning 365 days a year, 24/7, because if for some reason it was stopped over landmass, say bushland, the magnifying glass inside this thing is so strong it could actually cause a bushfire. So, interesting little fact for you. Once we were all finished up at the lighthouse, we headed off to Nilgi Caves for a self-guided tour. These cave systems are one of many across southwest WA of limestone caves. A lady named Dorothy lived down here for 90 days, all the way down in this cave, and the first thing Zali asks is, where is she going to the toilet?
It's an important question.
It must have stunk down here.
Stinky Dorothy.
So it's just our luck. We went and got a tiny little one-bedroom cabin in a caravan park, and the power's gone out. I'm currently lighting this up with a head torch.
We're camping inside a cottage.
Yeah, we just moved our camping spot. The storm's pretty good outside. That's actually knocked out the power. It came on and off a couple of times, and then it finally blew the breaker, and it stayed off for about half an hour now. So, well, I don't know what we're going to eat for dinner tonight. The gas still works.
Yeah, gas.
Yeah.
We'll have to get the cook out of the car again.
This is a big moment. You're not going to believe what just happened. It's been 25 hours without any power, and it's been about 12 hours without any phone reception, and it's just come back online then. Now, fingers crossed it stays online. TV's about to come on. We can finally turn off our source of heating because we've had gas still. So we've been running the gas cooktop here as a bit of a heater for the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, it's such a relief.
Excited.
Far out. What a shit show. You leave from camping in the bush and you go, we're just going to get a cabin where it's going to be power, data, and basically get out of the elements while this massive storm front went through. And you'd expect the power might go out. I've never been through a power outage that's lasted more than a couple of hours. And last night we used our head torch and batteries and all that, but eventually that all went dead. So, it's all over for now. It could go out again. And just to add to it, when the power went out last night about 5:30, we thought, rightio, everything that's in the fridge, we took all the contents out of the angle and we stuck it in this fridge just here. And then once the power went out, we thought, right, we got a couple of hours of cold goods in there. Power didn't come back on at 8:30 like they promised. Next thing you know, it was 12 o'clock. So we moved everything from inside that fridge into the freezer, where it's obviously going to be a bit colder. We got about a few more hours. Next thing you know, it was 12 o'clock and we set an alarm to say, if the power hasn't come back on, And it didn't come back on, so we had to get all this shit out of the freezer and take it back into the car. And then it's come back on and it's going to stay in the car. We're not going to put it back in the fridge, but what a muck around, tell you that much. Shit.
Zali's even had to kid herself in her 12-year-old from Kmart socks. They're small sheep, and they're from the kids section. I think they're for 7 years and up. So she's had to kid herself with that.
Top of the tree, and for once Zali's got the bigger balls than me because she wants to continue to the climb up the top. But man, my heart is pounding just at 20 meters. What's wrong with me? Big balls on her. Goes all the way up. Anyone that's been here before, I've seen some other people do it, and that goes all the way up to 60 meters, 65 meters. It's crazy. So we're on our way to the Gloucester Tree. We've just climbed Bicentennial.
Wow.
Well, halfway.
Halfway.
It was real windy, so we're just going to see how this one goes.
This one's 20 metres shorter, smaller.
But there's no middle platform.
Yeah.
So here we go. We made it.
How are you feeling?
Oh dude, how do you get my breath? This is ridiculous. We're up here and we need to get back down soon because the wind and the rain's coming, as you can see over there. We're 55 meters up above the canopy.
It's windy today, so it was pretty hectic, but we did it.
Oh,
Go us.
hardest part is coming back down. You gotta get down.
Bye.
See ya. So we're in the Warren National Park and it's been absolutely pouring down rain the last couple of days. Everything's muddy as anything, but on the way in we had a bit of a damage to the car. We went over this big long stick, or a brick of wood as Ali called it. It managed to go basically somehow get itself in a position. There's a bracket underneath this side step just before where this huge dent is, and the timber must have gone from here and got wedged in between that bracket, and it's actually managed to punch up through the aluminium plate. I know it's aluminium, but done its job and protected the sill. It's punched up through there, and you can see on this side it's not much, but it's definitely kicked up straight into that sill. When we heard it, we thought, far out, what was that? And it was just a brick of wood, as Zali calls them.
What?
What's wrong with the tent?
It's wet.
Inside.
Yeah. All over the swag inside.
So what are you going to do about it?
Sleep in the car.
So we've got a few issues at the minute. It's not a good time to be at the bush. Charlie's about to lose her shit.
Go down south, they said it would be fun.
Yeah, well, we've had a week's worth of, well, where am I fucking pointing the camera? Sorry. We've had a week's worth of rain, and basically thought, you know what, we'll keep it simple. We'll put out the tent, chuck the awning so we can put our camp chairs in there, because there's a camp kitchen straight up there. So basically we can have a good shelter and keep it easy. And that way we can take the vehicle, go around, touring around Pemberton, and which is fine as long as your tent doesn't leak. So we got water coming in through the roof. We've seasoned it in probably 3 times, so wet dry, wet dry, and wet dry on the canvas, and it's still not performing. I mean, it's saturating wet rain down here, but you get in it. When you buy a tent, the whole reason it needs to be waterproof. Otherwise, you might as well sleep outside.
We're having a great time. You know,
So
that's great.
Zali's looking up rooftop tents, and she's like, "Oh, fuck it, let's just get this."
But like the 3rd time, let's change our setup.
Yeah, but let's just see if it seasons in. It could be a faulty tent, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll get on the Oz tent tomorrow.
Just adding to the fun. So this is a cool little kitchen that we've got here at our campground. It's called Drafty's Campground, just up from the tree. They've got some cool little commercial kitchen like stove top and stuff, so it's nice to not have to cook on our little cooker. And then check out what I've got Dylan doing.
I'm not here. I'm a lighting guy.
Little cameraman, lighting guy following me around. Got to get those angles, you know. And then, best bit here.
Stop pointing the camera. The lighting man's not supposed to be in the camera.
Is Dylan's little seat. Can you see that? That's where Dylan eats his dinner. This little high chair. But yeah, that's pretty cool. This is probably nearly the best one that we've seen. So yeah, nothing like spending the night out in the rain.
You got those seat covers on yet?
What'd you say?
You're taking your time.
Mate, this is the third time these things are going on.
Well,
So while we're here in Perth having a bit of a pit stop on our way going north, heading towards Coral Bay and all the great things that are up the coast of WA, we've spent the time, we've just got a few mods we've got to do to the car. I mean, that involves we're going to make a little drink bottle holder console that goes behind the centre console just to store more things. Also got to cut the rails off the roof rack, customise that. Let's get into it.